friends, and thank you as always for visiting the Legend Sports Universe YouTube channel, Legend Sports Universe, where legends play forever. The Legend Sports Universe Boxing Federation returns with card number 8 of our LSUBF Championship Tournament series to determine the first champions in the LSUBF. And we've got a good card for you here. We'll start off at junior lightweight, where Oliver Flores, currently ranked number 3. Flores has not fought terrific competition, that ranking a little bit suspect. He's going to be tested here against Cornelius Boza Edwards. Boza comes in as a considerable favorite despite being the lower seeded fighter at number 6 in the tournament. Then we'll move up to super middleweight, where number 2 seed Chris Eubank, 18-2 with 7 knockouts, takes on the tough challenger who'll be giving up some size here, but Eubank, the slicker fighter, he will take on Gilberto Ramirez, undefeated, 11-0 with 10 knockouts. And then in the main event of the evening, we head to the heavyweight bracket, where the number 1 seed, Floyd Patterson, takes on Hercules Ken Norton, 13-1, all 13 by knockout. But Patterson has made his way through the heavyweight gauntlet to this point to get himself the top seed in the tournament. He is fighting terrifically so far in the LSUBF. That should be a very fun contest. So before our first bout, we will head behind the LSUBF fourth wall, do a little bit of a dive into the fighters, again, with this being a three-pronged project, the base of which happens in the classic title bout championship boxing game, which of course is more of a tech sim. We kind of go over some boxer bios here, how they rate in title bout that got them to this point, and then throughout the LSUBF, all of these tournament bouts, and then any championship bout and fight among a pair of guys ranked in the top 10 in the LSUBF will be broadcast here on the channel. But the bulk of fights will actually happen behind the scenes in title bout. So we look here, both Oliver Flores and Cornelius Boza Edwards, currently at the pre-prime stages of their careers. Flores is an interesting case because Flores is actually not one of the 25 fighters in the junior lightweight for championship like membership. Again, each bracket starts out with 25 fighters who were champions in the weight class, and then there were 50 kind of filler fighters put in, very low rated fighters who appeared in the title bout boxing game, but weren't champions. And they were really just kind of designed to kind of be fodder for the other guys as they extended their records, and built their introductory records here. Flores emerged out of that, getting matched up with a bunch of the other lower rated fighters, and ended up accumulating enough points to make it into the tournament. So he's kind of slipped in here, and he's going to have a tough order against him, though, going against Cornelius Boza Edwards. Boza was a terrifically fun fighter to watch, one of my favorite guys out of the 80s. You'll see here the pre-prime rating for Flores is a 1. He think he probably tops out at like a 3 or something like that, which is, just a general contender kind of rating. Boza pre-prime at 4. He'll probably settle in somewhere around a 7, which is a good, solid, you know, champ, short-term championship, regular contender kind of rating in title bout. You'll see in the 100 sim test run in title bout, Boza takes 75 out of the 100 test fights. So he comes in here as a decent favorite against Flores. Flores is going to have to be slick. He's going to have to keep his distance and fight efficiently to have a shot against Edwards, who's just going to keep on coming. But the best win so far, Oliver Flores with a kind of shocking win over Rafael Bazooka Lamone. Again, Lamone was kind of more of an entertaining fighter than a great fighter. Um, but Flores with a stoppage there, Flores not particularly heavy-handed. So that result, easily the most surprising result and easily the best win of Flores' career so far. Boza Edwards' best victory, a first-round evisceration of the very tough Ricardo Arredondo. Again, Boza, a good puncher, not a great elite puncher, but he's got enough thunder in those hands. But between the pressure and landing a good shot to put Arredondo down, He wiped him out in the first round, and Boza Edwards he's going to be tough to get out of this tournament. He's a very, very tough fighter. You're going to have to be on your game to take Boza Edwards out. Like I said, I was always a fan of Boza. So we do our bio briefs here, and we'll start off with Oliver Flores, a Nicaraguan southpaw, competed primarily at junior lightweight during the 2010s. Known for his toughness and a somewhat aggressive style. He'd kind of get in there with you, but he was fairly economical with his punches. He challenged for world titles, but never captured a major belt. Flores faced top contenders like Takashi Uchiyama and Miguel Burchett, gaining recognition for his resilience. Despite falling short in title bouts, he remained a respected contender throughout his career. He last fought, this was late last year, and I'm not sure if he is officially retired as of yet. As for Cornelius Boza Edwards, the Ugandan southpaw, known for his relentless pressure and exciting style at junior lightweight, he won the junior lightweight title in 1981, defeating Bazooka Lamar, and defended it once before losing to Rolando Navarrete. A fan favorite in the 80s, Boza Edwards faced elite opponents like Alexis Arguello and Bobby Chacon, earning respect for his durability, volume punching, and all-action approach in a very deep era in the division. So the fighters are already in the ring here. Junior lightweight tournament matchup, Oliver Flores, Cornelius Boza Edwards. Again, Flores 13-1 with 6 knockouts. The higher seed at present, though most believe that Boza Edwards is the superior fighter. Boza Edwards 10-1 with 7 knockouts. In order for Flores to be able to hang with Boza Edwards here, he's going to have to keep this fight at range, keep it at a distance. Boza Edwards is relentless. He throws a lot more punches than Flores likes to, and he's going to put pressure on from the opening bell. Not sure Flores can withstand that unless he can really do a good job of keeping Boza Edwards at a distance. That is easier said than done. Fighters will get their final instructions here, and we get ready. Round 1 scheduled for 10. Oliver Flores, Cornelius Boza Edwards. And right off the bat, Boza Edwards fires 4 or 5 shots. Good jab from Flores. Back Boza Edwards off. Boza letting him know right from the get-go, this is the kind of night this is going to be. Boza Edwards, not an elite puncher, but a hard puncher. He certainly brings more power than Flores. Landed a good short right hand there. Left hand from Flores lands. Tried to land there, but couldn't get the reach. Boza Edwards beat him to the punch. Now Boza backs himself in the corner. Quickly rolls his way out of there. Flores trying to work to the body a little bit. And Boza Edwards just has a few more tools in the tool bag than Oliver Flores. Boza trying to dig down low. Good short right hand from Boza Edwards. Boza popping in and out. So far, he likes to stand in front and bang, but Boza can move, and he's got a solid jab. So he does not have to fight on the inside. He merely prefers to do so. Again, a couple jabs to the body, and then comes upstairs. Flores lands just jab to the body. I should say straight left to the body, rather. Left hand from Flores lands. Boza perhaps focusing a little too much on volume there. Gets a little wild, leaves himself open. He does catch Flores with a nice left hand there. The final minute here of the opening round. Good straight left hand from Boza Edwards. Again, the 1-inch height advantage for Boza Edwards, not really a big deal. The 3.5-inch reach advantage could come into play far more significantly. Flores has been able to land a couple of clean shots in this opening round, but Boza Edwards does not seem particularly deterred as far as being the aggressor. And Flores not a heavy puncher. Good straight left hand there from Boza Edwards, and Flores is rocked. Boza Edwards comes in on him, trying to work the body. Flores covering up as he backs against the ropes, waning moments here of round number 1. But the first shake of the bout happens as Boza Edwards rocks Oliver Flores late in the opening round. I would have thought that round was going to go to Boza Edwards anyway, but that pretty much made that a certainty. Good straight left hand from Cornelius Boza Edwards. Fighters turn to their corner for instruction. Boza Edwards' corner very happy with what he's doing to this point. Flores is going to have to do a bit better job. He's going to have to be on his bicycle a little bit. That's not a particularly appealing style from a crowd standpoint. But it is his best course of action here against Boza Edwards. You don't see Boza Edwards throw upwards of 70, 80 punches around when you're more comfortable throwing 40 to 50 like Flores. Have to do something to keep that pressure off of you to fight your style of fight. Good jab there from Boza Edwards, but Flores landed a good one to the belly to stop the attack. Slips a jab, good body shot. Boza Edwards digs in with the left hand there. And a good jab from Boza Edwards. Flores is also not just about keeping a distance. Flores is going to have to defend himself better than he's doing at the moment. Well, this may not be a long night for Oliver Flores. Good jab there from Flores. Boza just keeps coming. Again, does not seem as though Cornelius Boza Edwards has any respect for the power of Oliver Flores. Flores is stuck in with a couple of really good shots, and Boza Edwards just walked right through him. Good body shot from Boza Edwards. Boza Edwards can get knocked down. It's hard to get him out of there, but he throws so many punches, he can get off balance sometimes. You can put him on the canvas. Against the ropes, Flores comes in after him. Fires several shots, none really land of any significance. Seconds of round number 2. Flores trying to work the body. Boza Edwards. Boza's doing a little bit more keeping distance himself at this point. After an aggressive first round and a half. Round 2 comes to a close. And Boza Edwards, so far to me, has certainly seemed to have the better of the action. Flores has landed a couple of single shots that were clean, but he hasn't really been able to put any kind of a rally together against Boza Edwards. No real prolonged attack. Boza Edwards is going to land the heavier shots in this fight. Flores is going to have to be accurate and get some quantity combinations, things that can impact the judges a bit. One more punches here to open up round 3, but so far Boza Edwards' guard holds up under scrutiny, and he fires. Upstairs, downstairs, upstairs, downstairs. Good uppercut splits the gloves, but a good answer shot from Flores. They get near the corner. Neither fighter willing to get himself stuck there as they make their way out to ring center. Flores gets a hold. Boza Edwards pushes him off, lands a shot. Flores lands a jab of his own. Good body shot from Boza Edwards. Got that one around behind that right arm of Flores. Was down, elbow tucked into his side, and Boza Edwards was able to get around it anyway. Now sticks a jab home. Flores wings a right hand that misses. Second half of round 3. Good uppercut from Flores. That's his best punch of the fight so far. But again, Boza Edwards not really deterred by it at all. He's now taken enough clean shots from Flores that if he had any respect for Oliver Flores' power, Boza Edwards would be exhibiting a bit more caution. He is not at this point. Largely staying center ring. They've drifted over to the ropes a couple times, and for the most part, they've really kind of stayed in the middle. Defense a bit better from both fighters here in this third round. Lots of punches either missing or hitting gloves. Oh, good stiff jab there from Boza Edwards. He threw 2 right after it. Those didn't land, and now Flores lands a jab of his own. Lands a good body shot. Boza Edwards backs up. That's really the first time that Boza has gone in retreat in this fight. Flores comes in on him. Final 10 seconds of round number 3. I don't think Boza Edwards is hurt at all at this point. A couple of good shots there from Flores, but I still put that one once again on the ledger of Cornelius Boza Edwards. Awaiting the winner of this bout, Marcelino Freitas, the number 2 seed. Freitas stopped Bazooka Lamont in their first round contest, so that takes care of the that'll take care of the right side of the bracket. Freitas is the winner of this one. On the other side, Diego Perales has advanced to the semifinal. He will face the winner of Steve Sullivan and Humberto Soto. There you see Teddy Atlas's ringside scorecard. He agrees with me that Cornelius Boza Edwards has taken all 3 of the rounds so far. And Boza Edwards racking up the volume there. Right, left, right, left. He just keeps on going, so Flores backs up, and every time Flores gets near him to try to start an offensive, Boza Edwards just catches him. Puts him back again. Even when he's not hitting him clean. Boza has enough power that Flores, I don't think, is confident to try and just walk through it. Upstairs, downstairs. Flores tries to exchange with him there. Flores in the corner, sticks a good shot there. Turned himself out of it. Decent body shot from Flores. Perhaps finding a couple of cracks in the guard of Boza Edwards. Boza Edwards lands a jab of his own to the midsection. guarding well, as is Boza Edwards. They tie up again. Separating immediately out of the break. Boza Edwards starts firing. Hop and jab, jab, short right cross. Goes for the uppercut. Flores backs away. Another uppercut. That one a left uppercut. Misses from Boza Edwards as well. There's a pressure fighter and a cautious fighter. A pressure fighter is more often than not going to get benefit of the doubt. Unless the cautious fighter is really doing a terrific job. Don't believe what Oliver Flores has done to this point qualifies. Good right hand, though. That one lands up top on Boza Edwards. And yet Boza does keep coming. Feints with the left, now fires a legit one. That one falls short, though. Flores creating enough distance there. He's making Boza Edwards miss more than he was in the early going. Flores' problem is he's not landing enough shots in return. Again, Boza Edwards just continues to fire away as round 4 comes to a close. So far, Cornelius Boza Edwards does seem to be in control here. Ring card girls. Back when you could still do that without probably getting sued or protested or whatever. But I digress. Oliver Flores, very minimal swelling at this point. Nothing that's of any significance to worry about as we head to round number 5. Left hand lands from Boza Edwards. Edwards has Flores against the ropes. Nobody throwing punches, though. Just kind of leaning on each other a bit. I'm surprised that Boza Edwards didn't try to fire in those tight quarters where he is so comfortable. Was it Edwards who initiates a tie-up, just trying to keep Flores in front of him, I think. Again, Flores kind of getting on his bicycle, which we talked about earlier on, and that's not being a terrible strategy. But he does have to come in and engage at some point and throw some punches and have success doing it. Otherwise, he's just going to concede rounds to Boza Edwards. And Flores, higher ranked at this point, but a significant underdog, regardless of the rankings. Just for an uppercut there. Boza Edwards blocks it. Does stick a shot home to the body. Uppercut from Flores misses. Fighters exchange there. And Flores defending a bit better as the fight has gone on. He's just not doing enough in terms of landing shots. He eats a right hand there from Boza Edwards. Lands one, eats another one. That's a good uppercut from Boza Edwards. Another stiff shot. Flores taking some heavy artillery here from Boza. Good body shot from Flores. But again, Boza just keeps on coming. We've really only seen one moment in this fight where Flores was able to stop Boza Edwards from coming forward, and that didn't last long. Final 20 seconds of the round coming up. Left hand from Flores misses the mark. Up, down. Again, Boza Edwards just keeps the ammunition coming. Flores' corner, trying to let him know, look, you're going to have to get in there and scrap a bit. Stick and move. But as soon as he starts coming in, Boza Edwards hits him, and Flores does not seem to want much of a part of that. He's giving up his advancement very quickly. So we head to round 6. So far, it is, based on my card, a shutout for Cornelius Boza Edwards, who has fought very, very well to this point. Again, Flores' big problem here is just that Boza Edwards has no fear that Flores can hurt him. Good straight left there from Boza Edwards. Flores has tried to shore up that defense a bit. He struggled with in round 1. He has done a better job of that. There has to be some damage getting done by him as well. More shots there miss. Boza Edwards able to pick off the body shots as well. Good, another left to the body dug in by Cornelius Boza Edwards. And even when Flores lands, he's just not landing much in combinations. One-offs here, one-offs there. He doesn't have the power for that to really turn the tide at any point. Does stick a nice right hand there, but he eats a straight left from Boza Edwards in response. Flores lands another. Now he backs off, and it's still Boza Edwards coming forward. Flores' corner trying to get him a bit more engaged on the offensive side of things, but he's not been able to do it to this point. Good left hand from Flores. That's his best punch of the last few rounds. And again, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, though, it's Boza Edwards who follows up that good shot from Flores with just punch after punch after punch. They weren't landing, but he's the one throwing. Flores landed a good shot and then seemed to admire his handiwork a bit. So and a short uppercut there. Boza Edwards picks it off. As we get late in the round here. Uppercut from Flores misses. Those guys perhaps taking a little bit of a respite here late in round 6. Tries to go to the body. Boza Edwards defends well. A couple of those shots landed as Boza Edwards was backing away, but nothing that's doing any kind of damage. Boza Edwards just trying to work the body heavily there, late in the round. So Cornelius Boza Edwards looks like a fighter who thinks he's got a crack. Not just in this fight, but in this tournament, becoming the first LSUBF Junior Lightweight Champion. It's not going to be an easy road. Again, the Acelino Freitas fight, assuming this one goes the way it is looking as though it is going to go now, Cornelius Boza Edwards and Acelino Freitas will be a very fun battle. And Diego Corrales looms on the other side, and Steve Sullivan and Humberto Soto, both tough fighters. Some intriguing matchups in this bracket. Fighters both fire away there. Both of them land solid shots. Looks like Flores has actually had a little bit more starch on it that time. Early here in round number 7. We'll check in with our good friend Teddy Atlas once more at the end of this round. Boza Edwards sticks the jab. Movement there from Flores. Boza Edwards can't land on him. Again, beating the same drum. Flores just not throwing enough. Good short right hand there from Boza Edwards. He's lands 2 out of 15 punches in that, but Flores isn't landing any in that same time period. Boza still on top. Flores did land the left as Boza came in there, but Boza Edwards lands shot to the body. Uppercut from Flores, wings and misses. He eats a jab for his trouble. Feels like Boza Edwards has started to work the body more and more as this fight has gone on. Lands another good body shot. Weighing uppercuts from Flores, nothing finds the mark. Good straight left hand from Boza Edwards splits the gloves of Flores. Good left from Flores. And a good body shot. Short little right hand. That looked like it was partially blocked. Boza Edwards overhand left. Glances off the side of the head. That straight right hand there, though. From Boza Edwards land and a straight left. That one was on the button. Boza's taken a couple of shots in this round, but he's answered them. And once again, Flores seems to be putting his attack into a shell for the time being. Final 30 seconds of round number 7. Oh, another good body shot from Boza Edwards. Boza Edwards has been able to get himself in just a nice rhythm here. He's been defensive enough when he's had to be, and again, just Oliver Flores just not showing any ability to hurt Boza Edwards at this point. You see a bit of swelling around the right eye of Oliver Flores. Nothing terrible by any stretch. And he's hoping that Boza Edwards is going to tire himself out. Not bet the farm on that happen. Again, even if Boza Edwards does tire for the last couple of rounds, Flores just not showing any sign of really being able to capitalize on that or do enough damage. There you see, Teddy Atlas at ringside has a 7-round shutout being pitched by Cornelius Boza Edwards. Flores trying to advance on Boza Edwards a little bit. Boza Edwards kind of letting him at the moment. As soon as he fires off a couple of jabs, Flores backs off. And it feels like Oliver Flores has to go all in at this point. And on the whole, Flores has protected himself pretty well. He's just not doing enough in response. And again, the fighter throwing fewer punches doesn't necessarily have to lose a fight. But you have to do something with those punches when you're throwing them, and he is not doing enough damage with them. It's not just a matter of volume. Boza Edwards has also landed a higher percentage of significant blows in the fight. Short left there from Boza Edwards. Just over the ear. Fighters clash as they come in there. Like both fighters landed their shots simultaneously. But it's Flores again who's the one backing up. Boza Edwards, despite being in control in this fight, does keep on coming. Trying to trap Flores in the corner, tries to work the body. Flores fires a jab up top, that's mostly blocked. Flores again backs into the corner. Not sure if he's trying to sucker Boza Edwards into coming in after him. Flores not the kind of fighter who that would usually be his kind of tactic. Works the body there, pops a jab home, goes for another one. Boza Edwards defends it. 30 seconds of round number 8. Oh, good short little, look at that short jab there from Boza Edwards. Right on the point of the chin there of Flores. He took that shot fairly well, actually. Round 8 comes to a close. Boza Edwards' corner's message has been really simple pretty much for the duration of this fight. Keep doing what you're doing. Hard to criticize anything out of Cornelius Boza Edwards so far. It's Oliver Flores. They have enough. Try to muster some offensive over the final 6 minutes of this bout. We head to round number 9. Edwards again has obviously thrown significantly more punches than Flores, but certainly does not seem to be tired at this point. Boza's stamina, part of his calling card. Has defended himself better as this fight has gone on, but he has not really had success keeping the fight at range. Boza Edwards has kind of been able to dictate the proximity and the pace. And Flores, even when he's keeping the distance, he's done a good job so far in the opening minute here of round 9 of keeping distance, but he didn't do anything with it. So Boza didn't really land anything of significance, but Flores did nothing. With that time. Boza just keeps on popping the jabs and the straights. Decent left hand there lands from Flores. Tries to dig into the body on Boza Edwards. He's not really having any of it. Fires straight left hand. Tries to dig another one into the body. Flores protects himself better there. He's been caught in the body with that left hook on the inside from Boza Edwards a few times during the course of this bout. Ooh. Good shot there and close. Short left hand now from Boza Edwards. Flores comes at him. Look like they're going to clinch. They fight their way out of it. Right hand, winging right hand from Boza Edwards misses the mark. Flores trying to jab down to the body. Good jab popped home there from Boza Edwards. Go to the body again. With the straight jab. Flores evades a couple of shots there. Final 10 seconds here of round number 9. There's Edwards. There was a little right left, another short right hand. Not heavy blows by any means. but scoring nonetheless. So Flores is just looking like an overmatched fighter here. And he's had a nice run to start off the LSUBF. And he does enter as the higher seed. 13-1 with 6 knockouts for Flores. Boza 10-1 with 7 knockouts. It would appear another W is going to go on the docket of Cornelius Boza Edwards. Flores lands a good shot there to open up the 10th and final round. Big uppercut from Boza Edwards, but Flores gets out of dodge well ahead of that one. Flores, again, just not fighting like a desperate fighter. He's fighting like a resigned fighter at this point. Looks fresh as a daisy. He's not dinged up or anything, really. Very slight swelling around the right eye. Nothing that's impacting him in any way. But Oliver Flores just does not seem to feel like he has any answer for Cornelius Boza Edwards. Good shot there. And Boza Edwards trying to go to the body. Midway point here of round number 10. Good uppercut from Flores. Again, Boza Edwards went with kind of a wide right hand there, and Flores snuck an uppercut in. But again, he can't follow it up with anything. A straight left hand from Boza Edwards. Clock continues to tick. 55 seconds and counting. Cornelius Boza Edwards fights like this, he's certainly going to be a tough out for the next two challengers in his way between him and the title belt. And that will wrap it up. So, the cards are in as the fighters are brought to the center of the ring, and the winner of this bout should not be in any question. And it is not. Cornelius Boza Edwards, with a clear and dominant performance, takes the unanimous decision from Oliver Flores. That is a shot. Flores gets the 10th round on all cards. But 99-91 across the board, Cornelius Boza Edwards with a dominant performance here in the opening round of the junior lightweight tournament to advance to the semifinal. Again, he will face Acelino Freitas. That bout should be a fun one. That is a very intriguing matchup. There, Boza Edwards' relentless pressure meeting Freitas' explosive power and athleticism. That should be a lot of fun. Again, Boza can hit, but Freitas is a heavy-duty puncher. He does leave himself open, though, and leaving yourself open against a fighter who can put on Boza Edwards' pressure His work rate is certainly going to be to his advantage there. Can he wear down Freitas? Can he tire him out? Can he make him wilt under the pressure? It's going to be a very, very interesting bout there. I'm not sure if Freitas can keep up his own pace with the pressure that Boza Edwards will provide. That is going to be a fun bout. I'm looking forward to that one. And again, the semifinal matchups will be 12 rounds, not 10. And you see your punch stats, and Boza Edwards, as you can see, the far, far busier fighter. Flores landed a higher percentage, but not enough blows of any significance. And your winner, by unanimous decision, is Cornelius Boza Edwards. So with that, we head back behind the LSUBF fourth wall for a look at our second bout. We head to the super middleweight division, where Chris Eubank, the number 2 seed, takes on the 7 seed Gilberto Ramirez. Eubank is in his prime in title bout, so he has peaked at a terrific 11 rating. Ramirez, a very solid 5 at pre-prime. He'll peak somewhere around an 8 probably when he is done. But right now, again, Eubank just the more experienced fighter in the prime of his career. This is going to be an uphill climb for Ramirez. I kind of think the title bout has Ramirez a little bit underrated, as it does with some current fighters. But Ramirez, a very solid contender. The 100 sim advantage, test run you'll see there. Eubank 84, 7, and 9. I do not think this is that clear about. Ramirez has a lot of height. He's got a lot of length to him. He can be difficult to handle, but Eubank should be able to just be the crafty, stellar all-around high ring IQ fighter that he is and be able to bring this one home. But Ramirez is going to test him. I absolutely think Ramirez is going to test him. I think this is going to be a much closer fight than that 100 sim test indicates. Look a little bit deeper into these guys. Neither of them have fought particularly good competition to this point. Eubank's best win, a 10th round unanimous decision win over Robert Stieglitz. Ramirez's best win, a 10th round stoppage of German Marcus Bayer. Again, those are both good, solid fighters, but not elite guys, I don't consider. And a lot of the rest of both of these guys' records is a little bit on the soft side. So we'll see if that plays into any of this at all. Again, everybody knows what Eubank is all about. But we'll see here the British former world champion, known for his flamboyant personality, iron chin, and unorthodox style. He won the WBO Super Middleweight Championship in 1991, defeating Michael Watson, and held that belt through much of the early 1990s, defending it successfully 14 times. Undefeated for nearly a decade, Eubank became a central figure in British boxing, engaging in memorable rivalries with Nigel Benn, Steve Collins, and others. Incidentally, in April, Eubank's son, Chris, is fighting Nigel Benn's son, Connor, in a bout that is getting a lot of heat in the run up to it. So that'll be a good one to watch. As for Ramirez, Zurdo is a Mexican southpaw known for his size, volume punching, and smooth boxing style. He made history in 2016, becoming the first Mexican to win a world title at super middleweight, capturing the WBO belt with a dominant win over Arthur Abraham. Ramirez defended the title multiple times before moving up to light heavyweight, where he continued to compete as a top contender, and he is now a champion at cruiserweight. So again, Ramirez, no pushover by any means as he prepares to take on Chris Eubank. Let's get to ringside. Fighters are in the ring here at the Aragon Ballroom in Chicago. There you see, Eubank ranked second. I had Sanchez there. He's Gilberto Ramirez Sanchez, but it's actually Gilberto Ramirez is what he goes by. Here you see Eubank again. 10-2, 7 knockouts. The number 2 ranked super middleweight in the world entering the tournament. You see Ramirez, 11-0, 10 knockouts. Now, this is going to be a challenge for Ramirez, but he does have some advantages, most notably the height advantage, the reach advantage. But Eubank is a very shifty, very crafty fighter. He can dictate the pace. I expect he'll be able to navigate that a bit, but I do not think this will be a walkover for Chris Eubank. Bell sounds, and we're underway here in the first. Eubank in the yellow trunks, Ramirez in the black trunks with the yellow trim. Trying to dig to the body early. Eubank goes into a corner fairly quickly there. Ramirez goes and tries to trap him. Eubank turns it around. Ramirez throwing significantly more punches here in the early going. Eubank digs a shot into the ribs. Ramirez the aggressor here. Exchange body shots. Eubank gets the better of it and then pops home a good stiff jab. Uppercut there from Eubank. Ramirez away with that a little bit, but it still caught him fairly well. Eubank bobbing and weaving. Not expending too much energy here in this opening round. Ramirez trying to work upstairs and downstairs. Eubank protects it well. That's a good uppercut there and a decent right hand afterwards from Ramirez. Eubank backs off a bit. It's home the jab. Misses with a left and then a right hand. So Ramirez protecting himself well. To this point, good body shot there from Eubank. He went upstairs, went downstairs very quickly, and the body shot landed another one in the follow-up to it. Now, Eubank starts popping the jab with a bit more regularity here in the final minute of the opening frame. Eubank coming in low, bobbing and weaving a bit. Jabs up high, then trying to pop down to the body for Eubank here in the early going. Still seems like he's just trying to figure out what Ramirez is about at this point. Ramirez glances one off of Eubank there. As we get to the final seconds here of round number one. So Ramirez started out throwing more punches. Eubank started to engage a bit more as that round went on. Again, if you're Gilberto Ramirez, he's going to try to put pressure on. He's going to try to be more of the volume puncher. Eubank is more of a counter puncher. It's more of a slick fighter. He's going to move. He's going to do Chris Eubank flamboyant kind of things. He's going to have a little style to him here. He'll let Ramirez press the fight. Eubank is not going to wilt under pressure, I promise that. Round two opens up. Eubank lands a quick body shot right off the bat. Oh, Eubank catches him with an uppercut. Best punch of the fight so far. Ramirez went in on him and left himself a bit open. Eubank saw the opening, hammered that uppercut home. Eubank again trying to work to the body, then to go upstairs. Ramirez tries to clinch him. Eubank pushes him off. Then Ramirez landed a good straight left hand to the body there. Misses with the right hand. Eubank dodges and lands another good body shot. Eubank leaning on the counter punching a bit. It's kind of staying in the kitchen, but he's not throwing as many punches as he was early in that first round when he tried to kind of come out with a bit of a flurry to him. A little more measured in his approach here in round 2. Fighters block the other's hooks. Bank tries to dig one into the body there. Past the midway point here of round number 2. Good right hand, but again, Ramirez lands that right hand, but he eats a jab and then a good straight right hand from Eubank. Every time Ramirez does something, Eubank answers it. Good body shot from Eubank. Ramirez is leaving himself open as he comes in. Jab home again. As for that uppercut, that's been there a couple times in this bout. That one missed, though. Goes back to the body. Right hand from Ramirez lands. Eubank pops a couple of jabs for the body. First one landed. Second one, Ramirez had backed off sufficiently. So Ramirez, still the one applying the pressure, but seems like he may be rethinking the degree of his aggressiveness to this point. Good left hand there from Eubank. Ramirez's problem, though, is I wouldn't abandon that style so much now, because if he tries to get into a straight, slick boxing match with Eubank, he is not going to win that battle against Chris Eubank. So Ramirez seems like he's searching a little bit for a game plan at the moment. He's landed a few decent shots, but everything that he's landed, Eubank has been able to counter with a shot of his own that seemed a bit stronger, a bit cleaner. Ramirez's best opportunity here is just to keep pressure on, keep a work rate on. Try to wear Eubank down. Easier said than done, of course. Round 3 opens up. Fighters meet out at ring center. And again, Ramirez lands a left. Eubank answers with a shot of his own that seemed to have a little bit more zip on it. Eubank backs against the ropes, then gets himself out of there pretty quickly. Not letting himself get trapped. Good jab there from Ramirez. That one splits Eubank's gloves. Tries to work the body. Eubank tries to work the body. Neither with too much success there. Exchange jabs. Both at least partially pick those off. Another jab from Ramirez. Every time Ramirez fires something, Eubank responds. At least if it lands. Check in with Teddy Atlas at ringside. Out what his scorecard looks like after round 3 here. Good right hand from Ramirez. Tries to follow it up with a pair of straight lefts. Eubank blocks those. That was a good, clean first punch there from Ramirez. Tries to tie Eubank up. Eubank pushes him off, but then a good jab there from Ramirez. And Eubank trying to push Ramirez off of him. Ramirez perhaps getting himself back to a little bit. Good straight left hand. Eubank got caught leaning back there. That punch still got him, though. Ramirez perhaps, as I was mentioning, getting back to, let's get a little bit more in Eubank's kitchen again. It's a jab home. Tries to go to the body. Eubank blocks it, lands a left of his own. Left there from Ramirez finds the mark. Another left hand from Ramirez finds the mark. And a good right hand from Eubank. Fighter's picking up the pace a little bit. Throwing a little bit heavier in terms of the leather. Good exchange there a moment ago. Again, Eubank goes to the body. Ramirez fires. Eubank fires. Things definitely picking up here in round 3. Straight left from Ramirez. Eubank answers again. Good right hand from Ramirez. So Ramirez starting to find a home a little bit for some shots here in this 3rd round. Perhaps finding a bit of timing on Chris Eubank. So 3 rounds in the book so far. Eubank's corner. Telling him he's fine. He's just got to do what he does. Watch out for a couple of those shots from Ramirez that caught him. Corners can say a lot, but once a fighter is in the ring, it's pretty much on the fighter. Ramirez, in my opinion, his best round of the fight there in the 3rd. Round 4 begins. And Teddy Atlas seems to agree. 2-1, that's how I have it as well. Eubank backs. Ramirez comes after him. Gets him into the corner. Jab, bang. Right hand from Eubank. Answers the jab. Good right hand, though, from Ramirez. Wings a left. Eubank blocks it. Big right hand from Eubank misses. He eats a jab from Ramirez. Ramirez trying to fire against the ropes. Eubank goes to the body. Ramirez lands a nice left there. Definitely getting the feeling that the pace of this fight is picking up. And if the pace of this fight picks up, that's going to favor Gilberto Ramirez. Eubank is not afraid of a scrap, but he prefers to be the counterpuncher. As a matter of course. You've seen Eubank several times try to push Ramirez off of him. Wants to keep the space. So perhaps Ramirez throwing Eubank off a little bit as he gets inside. Good body shot from Eubank. He dug that left hook into the ribs. Well done from Chris Eubank. Another left. That one up top from Eubank. Ramirez trying to work. Eubank blocking a bit more effectively there. Slips the right hand. Now blocks a shot to the body. Another left on the counter from Eubank. Sticks the jab home. Oh, and another counter. Ramirez unloaded with the left. He missed. Eubank slipped it and caught him again. I think Ramirez is having a bit of a better opportunity when he's going jab straight. When he tries to kind of wing those wide shots, Eubank continues to counter him and catch him. Eubank coming in on Ramirez, who's backing up as the round comes to a close. Ramirez's corner feeling pretty good about what their fighter's doing at the moment. Feel like he's starting to sucker Eubank in a little bit, or sucker/force Eubank into fighting a fight that caters to Ramirez a bit more. Eubank's corner trying to remind him, don't worry about the exchanges and leading the exchanges. Stick to counterpunching. Stick to finding the holes. Don't get caught into a slugfest. Fires exchange there at center ring. Good body shot from Ramirez. Tries to double up. Second one doesn't get through. Jab fires off. Jab lands good. Body shot on the counter from Eubank. Nicely there. Nothing from Ramirez landing. Neither fighter has done too much of significance here in round 5. Left hand there. Caught Eubank a bit, but not totally clean. And Eubank getting back to trying to work the body. Fires that uppercut. Glancing shot lands Ramirez. Ramirez fires off a jab. The glancingly hits Eubank. Both fighters exchange there. And Eubank slipping very nicely at the moment. Good defense in this round from Eubank, though he has not done much as far as landing blows of his own. Bobbing and weaving. Ramirez kind of waits on Eubank. Not a lot happening between the two fighters there for a spell. Eubank rips off a left hand there. That caught him a bit. Final 30 seconds here of round number 5. Straight left from Ramirez. Eubank has the gloves there. Blocks it well. Ramirez a decent hitter, but he's not really going to blast through your guard. Especially not a fighter of Eubank's caliber. Final 15 seconds here of round number 5. Got a pretty good scrap going here. Eubank and Ramirez. Eubank has gotten back to kind of being the counter puncher that he was earlier in this fight when this was going better. Ramirez did not get to do much that round, but again, Eubank didn't really land anything of significance in that 5th. So perhaps a tough round to judge. It's a very slight swelling on Chris Eubank. Nothing that's a concern at this point. Ramirez essentially untouched for now. Or at least I should say unblemished, not untouched. Eubank has fought him with a few nice shots. So round 6 gets underway. Good body shot there from Eubank. Again, he was really doing terrific work to the body earlier on. Short right hand from Ramirez lands. Eubank fires off a series of jabs. The ones up top didn't land, but he was able to get one home to the body. Looked like kind of caught Ramirez off the short one there coming in. Ramirez weathers it well. We'll slide out towards ring center. Is pushing Eubank off at that point. Again, Eubank's been the one who's been pushing Ramirez off, but Ramirez probably wants to have a little bit of distance there just to get more snap and use that reach advantage. Left hand there goes over the top. Eubank slips the follow-up right hand as well. And backs off and circling. Ramirez continues to plod toward him. Good left hand there from Ramirez. Uppercut, short one from Eubank inside, splits the gloves. Good body shot from Eubank. And a minute here of round number 6. Good left hand from Eubank. Ramirez lands a jab. But the left from Eubank, a far more solid shot. Good left hand from Ramirez. That time he's the one who counter punches. Eubank went for a left and missed, and Ramirez caught him with one. Best punch of the last couple of rounds for Gilberto Ramirez. 30 seconds remaining in the 6th. Blast through with that straight left, but Eubank's guard is solid. That left finds a home, but Eubank pops a jab off. So round 6 comes to a close. Again, this is a fairly level scrap at this point. Ramirez is acquitting himself well. He's just in there with for one thing, a terrific ring general in Eubank. I've got Eubank up 4-2. But I don't think it would be outlandish to see a scorecard that has this fight at 3 rounds apiece through the 6th. We'll head to the 7th. We'll check in Teddy Atlas's scorecard after round 7. Fighters ready to go here. They both come out exchanging right end in the center. And pushing the pressure. Ramirez pushed him away once, then clinched him for a bit. Eubank the one throwing more punches here to start off round 7. Popping jabs and straights. Bobbing and weaving. Ramirez really not doing much of anything to this point through the first 30 seconds of round number 7. Perhaps thrown a little bit by Eubank, coming out a bit more aggressively than he has over the first 6 rounds. Chopping right hand from Ramirez misses. Right hand from Ramirez is blocked. Exchange on the inside. Good jab there from Ramirez. Finds a home. Good right from Eubank, and then Eubank backs away before Ramirez can counter it. Uppercut from Ramirez misses. Good pair of right hands there. The second one landed cleaner than the first from Eubank. And Eubank has been putting himself on the ropes and in the corner a fair amount in this fight. Perhaps comfortable there for whatever reason. Straight left from Ramirez was partially blocked. Winging left hand, that one misses. Eubank ducks underneath it. Uppercut from Eubank misses. Ramirez has definitely toned down the aggression a little bit, although there's a good exchange between the two fighters as they stand near the ropes here in the final minute of round number 7. Left hand lands. Eubank goes down to the body. Ramirez tries to go to the body. Eubank protects himself well. Ramirez is unable to connect. Short right hand from Ramirez. Eubank misses a left, eats a straight left from Ramirez. A good sequence here for Gilberto Ramirez. In the final minute of round number 7. Good uppercut from Ramirez. Eubank landed a decent shot there. Ramirez's was better. Closing moments of round number 7. Good jab from Ramirez as the bell sounds to end the round. So that's a good round there for Gilberto Ramirez. See a little bit more swelling showing on the face of Chris Eubank. Ramirez has popped him with some jabs. He's caught him with some good straight lefts. And in real life, Ramirez has only lost once, and that was to Dimitri Bivol. He didn't lose at all when he was at super middleweight. The Teddy Atlas scorecard, and Atlas has this as I do. 4-3 Eubank through 7. This is a 1-point fight as we head into the final 3. So Ramirez has given Eubank a good test here. Now going back to being a little bit more aggressive on Eubank here to open up the 8th. Eubank defends well against those. Nothing of significance landed despite the volume from Ramirez. Uppercut from Eubank catches him. But good straight jab there from Ramirez. Body shot from Eubank lands. Awesome movement from Eubank. Good shot there. Follows it up with a couple of jabs. Those are blocked. The first shot got through, though. Eubank back to the body. Right hand from Ramirez misses. Those are the shots, though, earlier on in the fight. Ramirez was missing those. There's the counter from Eubank. That's what I was just getting to say. Earlier on in the fight, Ramirez would miss those hooks and crosses. Eubank would slip them and bang him to the body with the counter. Good there. Straight jab there from Eubank on the counter. Sticks Ramirez hard. We're past the midway point here in round number 8. And coming up next, the main event of the evening at heavyweight, Floyd Patterson and Ken Norton. A fight lots of folks looking forward to. Right hand from Ramirez lands. Goes for the left, Eubank able to block. Eubank goes for a left, misses. Ramirez tries to catch him with a right hand, but Eubank able to get the guard up. Ramirez starts going to the body. Good straight right hand there from Eubank. Eubank using that shoulder a bit as they get inside each other. Right hand from Eubank misses. Ramirez backs off. Ramirez's pace is definitely slowed. Uppercut from Eubank lands. Good left hand from Eubank finds its way around the glove as well. So a solid 8th round for Chris Eubank there. And Ramirez is acquitting himself very well here. But again, Eubank a bit more experience. And again, it felt like in the middle rounds, Eubank was kind of getting sucked into Ramirez's kind of fight. Eubank seems to have corrected that here. That was much more in line with the success Eubank was having earlier on. Get ready for round number 9. I have Eubank up 5-3. And my scorecard means absolutely nothing. Frankly, so does Teddy Atlas's. Uppercut from Eubank. Ramirez tries to come in, but he kind of hesitated a little bit, and Eubank popped him with a good jab. Eubank misses with the uppercut, but evades the counter right hand from Ramirez. Blocks the left, hits with the body shot, evades the uppercut. Eubank looking very smooth again here, later in this fight. Right hand there, didn't catch him clean. Right. Misses from Ramirez. Lancing jab to the body, short left there, caught Eubank a bit. No harm, good straight left there. Didn't get full extension on that straight left hand. Still a scoring blow from Gilberto Ramirez. Short right hand from Ramirez. With a little bit of infighting there. And Eubank tries to push him off, goes up top with the jab, but Ramirez blocks it. Digging the body shot in there. Eubank, the first one didn't get through, the second one did. Ramirez tries the same. Eubank protects himself well. Good jab there from Eubank, lands after protecting himself. Eubank blocking a lot of blows. He's mixed pretty well between blocking blows and slipping blows. Short uppercut lands between the gloves. Good left hand from Ramirez. Eubank fires back as well. Jab from Ramirez is blocked. Eubank straight right hand gets through. Tries to go to the body. Ramirez pops off a jab, then lands a straight left. And didn't quite get full extension on that straight left. Right hand from Eubank lands. Waning moments of round number 9. Left from Eubank. Catches Ramirez there. Uppercut misses. That's the punch Eubank has not really found much success with, that uppercut. He's landed 1 or 2. But Ramirez has largely been able to evade those. But still felt like another good round for Eubank. Again, this is a 1-point fight through 7, but I believe that Eubank has taken each of the last 2 rounds. I have him up 6-3 as we head into the 10th. See if Ramirez comes out with a bit more of the aggression he had earlier in the bout. He does not seem tired. It seems like he's more changed tactic a bit. I think he's going to have to press the action in this 10th round. He lands a good body shot there. Eubank backs up. And trying to dig to the body. Ramirez definitely the one coming right at him. He gets a body shot for his trouble. Eubank backs off. Right hand upstairs misses. Winging left hand. Ramirez was looking for a money shot there. Eubank slips it. Gets out of dodge. No thank you there. Eubank wants no part of that. And Ramirez is going to have to open up and take a few chances here in this 10th round. By no means a poor performance from Gilberto Ramirez, but he is in there with a pro's pro. In Chris Eubank. Good left hand lands. Uppercut from Ramirez misses. Minute gone in round 10. left from Ramirez. Eubank sticks a jab. Ramirez trying to cut an angle on him. Eubank not letting him. Does stick a jab home, then goes to a body shot. Straight left is blocked by Eubank. Past the midway point here in this 10th round. Just tries to dig a shot to the body, goes up top. Eubank ducks underneath it. Final minute of the bout. Here at Super Middleweight. Our first Super Middleweight bout in this LSUBF Championship Tournament series. Good body shot there. Eubank dug that one in. Ramirez comes to pressure again. Goes inside. Eubank puts a body shot in. Right hand from Ramirez, blocked, as is the jab. Goes to the body, it's evaded. Swinging left hand. Eubank blocks that one. Kind of slides over the top of his head. Well parried by Eubank. Left is missed by Ramirez. Eubank backs up into the corner. That's not where he should go here. Ramirez tries to fire a couple of shots at him, but to no avail. Eubank pops a jab home, rotates away from the ropes. Big right hand from Eubank is blocked, and that gets us to the final bell. So, we'll see what the cards have in store for us. I believe Eubank wins this fight. That last round, you could argue, for Ramirez. A fairly level round. But Chris Eubank takes the decision to advance to the Super Middleweight semifinal. Again, Ramirez put up a good showing here. There is nothing for him to be feeling bad about, but Chris Eubank will move on. There you see your final scorecards: 97, 93, 98, 92, 96, 94. I had it 97, 93. I agree with judge number 1. 98, 92 is a bit wide for that bout, I feel like. 96, 94 I think is a respectable card too. I have no issue with that scoring. 98, 92 is a bit wide for Eubank, but I do certainly feel that Eubank took the decision appropriately here. Ramirez will be heard from in this division, but there you saw Eubank on top 2 judges' scorecards. He took 4 of the first 5 rounds. Judge 3 actually had Ramirez ahead after 5 and after 7. Eubank sweeps the final 3 rounds on 2 cards, takes 2 of 3 of them on the other card, on his way to the unanimous decision victory. Take a look here at our punch stats. You'll see Eubank landing more than 40% of his blows on the fight. The fighters landed the same number of shots, 193 over the course, but Eubank throwing 70 punches less over the course of the fight. He landed twice as many counter shots in the contest as Ramirez did. Again, Ramirez didn't really do anything bad here. Ramirez does 51 punches around. Ramirez wants to be a bit higher than that, but again, Eubank, other than a few rounds in the middle of the fight, Eubank was able to kind of control the pace of things, not let Ramirez really turn it his way for any significant length of time. And that is how Chris Eubank advances to the semifinal. Take a look here. I apologize, I don't have it up at the moment. See who Eubank is slated to fight in this super middleweight bracket in the next contest. Let me see, bring it up there. So Eubank will fight the winner of Chang Pao Park and Jeff Lacey. Jeff Lacey is another guy he's only ranked 6th entering the tournament, but Lacey is a better fighter than that. I think Jeff Lacey could do a decent... Lacey and Eubank could be a fun fight. But Gilberto Ramirez, again, will be heard of another time here at super middleweight. He is not going to disappear in this division for sure. Chris Eubank takes the unanimous decision, and that will set us up for the final contest of the night. as the heavyweights take center stage. So with that, we take our last trip behind the LSUBF fourth wall as we get ready for the heavyweight contest. Nobody really needs too much of an introduction about these two, but we're going to do it anyway as we preview the heavyweight contest between Floyd Patterson and Ken Norton. Both fighters in the pre-prime stages of their career in title bout. Pre-prime Patterson is at a 7, Norton is at a 6. They're fairly level in the 100 sim test run. Patterson wins 60 of these bouts. My personal thought about this contest is Patterson could beat him, but Norton is kind of remembered a bit wrongly, I think, by a lot of people. You hear the Ken Norton, that the Hercules nickname, and that he broke Ali's jaw, and you kind of think of Norton. He kind of gets remembered by a lot of people as just this big slugger. He was an incredibly powerful guy, but he wasn't really a slugger. Ken Norton was a much better technical fighter than I think a lot of people remember him being. Um, so I don't think this is just a matter of Patterson being able to box rings around a slugger. Norton's a better fighter than that. Their best wins so far, Patterson, a unanimous decision over Vitaly Klitschko. Klitschko, of course, who we saw on the last card, advanced in the tournament. He's on the other half of the bracket. Klitschko handed Norton his only loss to this point. But again, the best win for Patterson, that win over Klitschko. Norton's best win, a 6th-round technical knockout of Deontay Wilder. That's where Norton's power comes into play. As for the bios, Patterson, an American heavyweight known for his speed, peekaboo defense, and humility outside the ring. In 1956, he became the youngest heavyweight champion in history at age 21, defeating Archie Moore for the vacant title. Patterson held the title twice, famously regaining it in 1960 after losing to Ingemar Johansson. A trailblazer in the post-Rocky Marciano era, Patterson remains a respected figure in boxing history. And Norton was an American heavyweight renowned for his strength, athleticism, and unorthodox cross-arm defense. He won the WBC heavyweight title in 1978 after Leon Spinks was stripped of the belt, having previously gained fame by breaking Muhammad Ali's jaw and defeating him in their first bout back in 1973. Norton fought elite opponents like George Foreman and Larry Holmes, earning respect as one of the toughest contenders of his era. So we return to the ring at the Aragon Ballroom, where Floyd Patterson and Ken Norton get ready to battle. Again, Norton with a 3-inch height advantage, a 9-inch reach advantage, to say nothing of the almost 30-pound weight advantage that he brings into the bout. There you see Patterson, 17-1-1. He's got 12 knockouts. There's Ken Norton, 13-1. 13 knockouts for Norton. Every victory has been finished before the distance. Patterson did defeat Vitaly Klitschko, who was the only fighter to defeat Norton to this point. Fighters touch gloves. We're ready to go. This should be a good one. Patterson and Norton. Patterson popping the jab quickly right out of the gate. This exchange. Norton's going to have success here. He's going to have to use that reach and his strength advantage on Patterson. Norton's a very capable boxer, but he is not going to match Floyd Patterson in terms of speed. So he's going to have to lean a little bit more on the physical gifts that he has to beat Patterson here. Patterson, simple. He's got to bob and weave, use his speed, use his hand speed advantage over Norton, beat him to the punch, and get out of there before Norton can hammer home the thunder. They are standing in exchange in there at the moment. Patterson slipping a couple of punches there from Norton. Goes to the body. Norton, a chopping left hand. Almost looked like it hit Patterson in the back of the head as he ducked down. Left hand from Patterson lands. That's a good shot. You can rattle Norton's cage if you can tag him, but the same can certainly be said for Floyd Patterson. If Norton hits Patterson clean, there's a very good chance of Floyd Patterson ending up on the canvas. Puts a right hand over the guard of Norton. Good left hand from Norton. Patterson bounces back with a jab, but that was a good, solid left hook from Ken Norton. Goes for a big right hand. Patterson dodges it. Norton firing plenty of shots there, but he's not landing. Good elusiveness from Floyd Patterson. He's going to have to keep that up. Again, that reach advantage is so hard. Patterson's done a good job navigating it to this point. But you got to stay outside of Norton's punch while getting inside, landing your shots, and then getting back out. The degree to which Patterson is able to do that successfully will dictate the course of this fight. Final 30 seconds here of the opening round. Patterson sticking jab, sticks one in the body. Fades. Simple left hands. That one from Norton caught him a little bit, but not clean. Right hand from Norton lands. Trying to pop off the jab. And Patterson evading them largely. Round one comes to a close, so Norton trying to put pressure on Patterson, at least for the first 3 minutes of this bout, doing a good job evading the punches. Norton hit him a couple of times, but Patterson, for the most part, was able to bob and weave and dodge, not get tagged too much, pop his jab home a bit on Norton. Again, asking a fighter for 10 rounds to get in and out effectively against a fighter who can do the kind of damage that Ken Norton can do. That is a tough ask, but it's what Patterson is going to have to do here. And again, he's had success. They're different types of fighters, but the fact that he's already defeated Vitaly Klitschko here in the LSUBF pairs him a bit, at least in terms of the size discrepancy. I mean, Norton isn't Klitschko's size, although the reach is similar. Norton pops off a couple of jabs. Patterson blocks them. Patterson is going to want to bob and weave, though. You don't want to make a living trying to block Ken Norton's punches. Good jab there. That one from Norton got through the gloves. Again, Norton finding a little bit better luck. Oh, good body shot from Norton. And that one rattled Patterson. Patterson backs up. He's covering at the moment. Norton tries to pin him against the ropes, trying to dig into the body again. Patterson protects himself well. Gets away from it. Norton now trying to go up top. Patterson protecting himself well at the moment. No further damage there from Norton, but that shot definitely woke Patterson up. If there was any forgetting Ken Norton's power, that body shot from Norton reminded Patterson very, very quickly. Patterson sticks the jab home, though. Right hand there from Norton. Patterson staying a little bit too within range here in this second round so far. Again, it's a very delicate balance that Floyd Patterson has to navigate here in this one. Good jab from Norton, double jab. Second one fell a little bit short. Sticks it home again, and Norton just firing that jab off. Good work here in round two from Ken Norton. Right hand to the body. Patterson not throwing much right now. Perhaps not wanting to leave himself open after getting tagged earlier. Good left hand there from Norton. So as much as Patterson's timing seemed to be good in round one, it's been a bit off here in round two. He's gotten tagged by a few good shots from Norton, one in particular to the body, but he's eating a bunch of jabs here in this second round. Several Patterson shots fall short. Now he's finding the range with that jab again a little bit. Final 30 seconds of round 2. Norton lands a decent left hand up high. Right hand from Norton. There you see, Norton is finding range a bit more, using that length, using that reach advantage here in the second round. Right hand from Norton lands. Patterson tries to go to the body. Norton blocks it. Round 2 comes to a close, but a very good round for Ken Norton. Rattled Patterson with that body shot, but again, the jabs and the straight right hands finding their marks significantly more often in round 2 than in the opening frame. Patterson's corner is going to try to get him right heading into round number 3. Don't believe he's hurt anymore. It's not a matter of that, but do not want him to spend another 8 rounds eating powerful jabs and straights from Ken Norton. If he does that, this fight is not going to go another 8 rounds. Norton tries to go to the body again to open up round number 3. See Patterson backing off. Norton just continues to pop jab after jab. Nothing landing right now. It's keeping Patterson honest. Patterson can't get inside on him if he keeps throwing that. Can Ken Norton keep up that kind of a work rate of just keeping a piston-like jab going for 10 rounds? Not sure that he can. Goes to the body there. Good shot there from Norton. Overhand left lands. Patterson tries to get one into the body. Norton is just continuing to just pound jab after jab. Again, a lot of them are missing. A lot of them are hitting gloves. He is going to just continue putting it out there. Almost Carlos Monzon-esque in just keeping the jab going and going and going. Uppercut lands from Norton. Patterson's going to have to solve this. Patterson had a terrific first round. Round 2 in the first half of round 3. Ken Norton has kind of seemed to find his way a bit. Missing there with that straight right hand. Short right from Patterson lands. Uppercut from Patterson lands. He got caught Norton with off balance there. Goes to the body again. Let's go to that short little shot to the body uppercut combination the second time. Doesn't work as well as the first. At least not the uppercut half of it. Now it's Patterson who sticks a jab home. Straight right hand. Uppercut. Neither of those land cleanly, but they did score. Patterson goes upstairs, downstairs. Good sequence there from Floyd Patterson. And the other thing that Patterson has to be careful about, he's going to want to fire off combinations, but again, he doesn't want to stay inside too much. So he's really got to find his timing, find his rhythm, and find Norton's rhythm as well. He's done a better job of that as round 3 has gone on here. Uppercut, but an uppercut from Norton. Oh, the left uppercut landed. That right uppercut missed, and it's a good thing for Patterson. Patterson comes back, though, with a couple good shots to the body. Right hand from Norton. Gets around the gloves of Patterson. Big right hand, and Patterson is rattled again. Norton carries a jab home between the gloves. Late here in round number 3, Norton works Patterson against the ropes, and the bell sounds, and that bell might have just rescued Floyd Patterson. Thunderous shot from Norton, and Patterson staggered in that one. Here in round number 3, that shot to the head, that's a different kind of stagger than the body shot. So Norton rattles Patterson's cage. Here in round number 3. I've got Norton up 2-1 through 3. We'll check in with Teddy Atlas at ringside for his scorecard before round 4 gets underway. And he's got that round for Floyd. I don't know how that's a Floyd Patterson round. I got to be honest with you. Patterson did some nice stuff in that round. But at the end of that round, you're judging that 3-minute who you wanted to take the 3 minutes from. I would have much rather been Ken Norton for those 3 minutes than Floyd Patterson. So I disagree there. I have Norton up 2-1. Uppercut from Patterson lands. Good body shot there from Patterson. Good body shots from Norton. Sticks the jab home again. Right hand gets around the gloves. Good jab from Patterson. He lands a good follow-up left hook up top as well. Trying to get in and out, but Norton catches him when he comes in with that jab. Right hand there kind of went behind Patterson's head as Patterson stepped in on it. Fighters exchanging along the ropes there. Even exchange. Patterson blocks. Again, blocking Norton for 10 rounds is going to be a very, very tough chore for Floyd Patterson. That's what he wants to do. Evades the left hand, sticks a good solid shot to the body. Now he pops the jab home. Better work there from Patterson. Sticks the body. Blocks that shot from Norton. Evades that one. Uppercut misses from Norton. Patterson's doesn't. Good shot from Floyd Patterson. Patterson doing a much more effective job here in round 4 of gauging the timing against Ken Norton. Big right hand from Norton misses. Left hand misses as well. So Patterson starting to slip more and more punches from Norton. Norton goes for the uppercut, misses again. Round 4 here, Norton has gotten away from that jab a bit. He's going for more power shots. Again, he rattled Patterson in round 3. But his good jabs, is what set that up. Norton's got a bit away from the jab here in the 4th, and Patterson has had a better round as a result. Final 15 seconds of round number 4. He seems to have noticeably slowed here in that 4th round. So I gave that round to Patterson, which would make it 2-2 if my scorecard A was accurate, B meant anything. But we'll give it regardless. We thought we'd have a good fight here. So far, it is not disappointed. From Ken Norton, I gotta get back to the jab. He had a lot of success in rounds 2 and 3, working off of the jab. He got away from that a bit in round 4, perhaps thinking he could finish Patterson after rattling him at the end of round 3. The bell may very well have saved Floyd Patterson at the end of round 3. Norton had him in trouble. Lands a good solid right hand there here in the opening moments of round number 5. Fires a straight right home, but he eats one from Patterson. There's the jab. Patterson answers it with a body shot, though. And defends himself well as Patterson tries to go to the body. There are the jabs, but that time Patterson's evading. Goes to the left hand, misses. Patterson counters with a right to the body. Patterson starting to ramp up the volume a little bit. Trying to get a little more in the way of combinations. Good right hand there from Norton. Fighters exchange rights there. More than a minute into round number 5. Left from Patterson, uppercut misses the mark. Patterson tries to work the body on Norton. Norton, like he's chiseled out of stone. You better put a lot of starch into that punch to the abdomen. for Floyd Patterson. Good uppercut there from Norton. He didn't quite catch him flush, but it still landed solidly. Patterson pops home a jab, blocks a right hand from Norton well. You can hear the sound of the shots from Ken Norton is just a different sound than the shots landing from Floyd Patterson. Jab to the body from Norton. Right hand there lands from Norton as well. Getting a little bit more back into that jab here in the 5th round. This corner tried to hammer that point home between rounds. Use that jab, keep Patterson on the end of it, make him fear getting inside, and then stick him with the power shot when you can. Norton's tactics in round 4 absolutely could be attributed to the fact that Patterson was in so much trouble at the end of round number 3. 15 seconds here of the 5th round. Norton missing a lot now. Patterson sticks to the body. Winging right hand again from Norton, and again Patterson dodges it. Goes for a left to the body. Patterson evades that as well. So Norton is that, of course, after I talked about him jabbing more, he started to drift away from it a little bit again. Again, Norton knows he's the stronger fighter. He has to try to keep himself in line with what was working. When he rattled Patterson, you know, both times he did it earlier in this fight, the body shot too. The jab is what was setting those shots up. Cannot get away from that. That's a tight 5th round there. I probably still give it to Norton. That's kind of a toss-up 5th round. Round 6 begins. Fighters meet at center ring. Norton starts off with the jab here in the 6th. He did that in the 5th as well, and then started to get away from it a bit late. Good shot there. Good uppercut from Norton. Sticks a jab there, goes into the body. Body shot is blocked by Patterson, but Norton again popping the jab. That's more like it again from Ken Norton. Misses with the right hand. Good left hand from Floyd Patterson, and Norton is shook. Patterson's best punch of the fight. Norton covers, stops throwing. Patterson steps in on him, but they're cautious. Norton seems to be okay. He seems to have his legs, but that left hand from Floyd Patterson certainly shook Ken Norton. And we mentioned Norton can be tagged. He can be hurt. Good left hand from Norton, and now it's Patterson who's shook. Norton has him back against the ropes. We've still got plenty of time, almost 2 minutes left in this 6th round. Norton firing away, Patterson protecting himself well. Fires a jab. Jab from Norton, but an uppercut from Patterson. Good action here in this 6th round. Both fighters have been shaken. Left from Norton misses. Patterson gets underneath with a body shot, then pops a jab up high. Uppercut from Patterson. That hit gloves. Is Norton able to defend himself? Punch sequence there from Norton. Oh, from Patterson. It looks like Norton seemed to block all those. That jab slips through from Patterson. Left from Norton. Patterson ducks it. Catches him a bit with the second one. Third one misses over the top. Right hand misses from Norton. A little speed seems to be slowing down a little bit for Ken Norton. Here in Patterson was hoping he could take Norton into the deep end of the pool a little bit here. Only a little less zip on the punches from Norton. Good uppercut there. Gets the jab, misses the big right hand. See, at the moment, Patterson and Norton's missing. Patterson's not landing counters. There was a short right hand from Patterson. Dinks one into the body there. That right hand from Norton landed, but a jab landed from Patterson as well as round 6 comes to a close. Good round for both fighters. That was an action-packed 6th round. And both guys were rattled. I probably tilt a little bit toward Patterson for round 6. Because he had Norton missing a lot late. But I think rounds 5 and 6 could, both of those rounds, I think you could give those either way. We've got a good one going here. We start off round number 7. Winner of this contest gets Vladimir Klitschko in the semifinal. Klitschko got past Max Schmeling. Jab there from Patterson. Sticks the right hand. Less output through the opening 40 seconds here of round number 7 than what we've seen from Norton. Tries to tie Patterson up. Patterson kind of slips out of the clinch there. Right hand misses. Good counter left hand from Patterson. And again, Patterson sticks him twice. Uppercut on the inside from Norton. Backs Patterson off. Great right hand from Patterson finds the mark. Gets out of the way before Norton can load up the jab again. As this fight goes on, does Patterson have superior endurance? Can he stick and move effectively over the final rounds? Left misses from Norton. Norton seems to be missing a bit more frequently than he was earlier on. Again, just a little bit lower on the punches. A little bit easier for Patterson to evade them. Good body shot, though, there from Norton. Jab misses. Double jab to the body from Patterson. Once again, check in with Teddy Atlas's scorecard at ringside here after the 7th round. Both fighters a little bit more measured in this 7th round. Through the first 2 minutes and change. Good right hand from Norton. Gets around the jab of Patterson. Pops the jab home. Body shot from Patterson. Didn't catch him clean. Final 10 seconds of the 7th round. Norton tries to go to the body. So both fighters bit toned down in that 7th round. I've got 3 straight rounds there. I'm honest with you. I think all 3 of those rounds are toss-up rounds. It could get very, very interesting when it's time to go to the scorecards. If you go 1-1-1 through those 3 rounds, that's probably a fair assessment. At ringside, Teddy Atlas has Floyd Patterson up 5 rounds to 2. He has Patterson up 68-65 through 7. Got the fight even. I've got 3-3-1. Right hand from Norton lands. Patterson tries to go to the body. Norton blocks it. Good straight right hand there from Patterson lands. It's a shot with the left. Can't find a home for it. Uppercut from Norton misses. But you'll see Patterson's caution. Norton is missing a lot of power shots over the past few rounds, and Patterson has been very reluctant to kind of get in there and try to step in and land a good counter shot. Patterson has a lot of respect for Norton's power. Norton sticks off a good jab there. See a little less starch on the power shots from Ken Norton. A little less snap on the jab. His punch is falling short. Good counter left. That's the kind of shot that Patterson needs, though. Norton misses. Good counter left hand from Floyd Patterson. Norton backed against the ropes. Turns his way away, and the fighters get back out to ring center. Right hand from Norton. Glancing blow. He ties Patterson up briefly, and the fighters separate their way out of it. Patterson trying to double up on the jab there. Left hand from Norton lands, but again, a little less snap than earlier in the bout. Body shot from Patterson. Patterson at the moment seems like he's the one stalking Norton down a bit. That's a little bit dangerous if you are Floyd Patterson. Very interesting what these fighters are being told in their corners as far as the direction of this fight. I gotta think both of them are being told that it's close. I certainly don't agree with the Atlas scorecard of Patterson being up 3 rounds entering that 8th round. I do think Patterson took that round up. I would have him up by a point if the Atlas scorecard is correct. Assuming that he gave Patterson that round, I thought it was a pretty clear Floyd Patterson round. That would have Patterson up 4. I do not think this is a fight that Floyd Patterson should be up by 4 points. So we'll see. Again, rounds 5, 6, and 7 all were tough judging rounds. Does Ken Norton have enough in the tank here? Patterson has been tagged a few times this fight. He was very much in trouble at the end of round 3. Was saved by the bell. Again, those power shots from Norton just seem to have a little less zip on them than they had early. Patterson evading, not throwing very much at the moment. Norton misses. Good counter, stiff jab there from Patterson. Good body shot from Patterson. Norton covers, wings a left. Patterson barely gets a glove up to parry that one away. Patterson trying to dig into the body, slips under a left hand. Punch output has certainly gotten less. And you wonder if Norton spending those couple of rounds after round 3, after he had rattled Patterson there, Norton got away from the jab, and he was throwing a lot of heavy shots, full effort punches in there. And you wonder if that's maybe serving him badly here now in these later couple of rounds. Norton to find, has decent endurance. He certainly has slowed down here as we get into round 9. Got off the game plan a little bit in those middle rounds. And maybe paying a price for it here. Good counter jab there from Patterson. Norton staying in the corner. He's not really doing much to try to get out of the corner there, actually. Patterson actually backs off, and that's the only reason that Norton comes out of the corner. Norton seemed very content to fight out of the corner there for a bit. Final 30 seconds here of round number 9. Patterson stepping in on Norton there. Norton pops a jab. Patterson seemed to lose a little bit of snap at this point. Round 9 comes to a close. So, we will head to round 10. Floyd Patterson, Ken Norton. The winner goes on to the semifinal against Vladimir Klitschko. This is the third of the 4 LSUBF Heavyweight Bracket Championship Tournament bouts. Vitaly Klitschko will await the winner of Jimmy Ellis and Tommy Morrison. Again, this is designed with a career in team sports, with a franchise mode in mind. There's a lot of great fighters who are not in the LSUBF at the start. They will all enter gradually. So if you're wondering, wow, Jimmy Ellis and Tommy Morrison were decent fighters, but they're in the final 8 of a heavyweight tournament, that's why. There's no Ali yet, there's no Frazier yet. Heavyweight actually had one of the, given the pool that you can pick from at heavyweight, the heavyweight bracket had one of the lesser drafts, for lack of a better term, for the initial 25 in the weight class. There's no Ali, there's no Foreman, there's no Frazier, there's no Tyson, no Bo or Lewis. So they're down, lots of great heavyweights yet to come down the pipe. But for now, Patterson and Norton is what we're concerned about. Round 10 here. Now got Patterson up 2. Does Norton have enough in the tank to put Patterson on the canvas here? Again, 3 rounds in the middle I would consider very, very tough scoring rounds. So those could have gone either way. Teddy Atlas on his ringside scorecard means those rounds for Patterson. Good left hand there from Patterson. And Patterson is just beating Norton to the punch here in round 10. There's a good left from Norton, though. Patterson answers. That was Norton's best shot of the last couple of rounds. Wings a left, misses. Patterson counters with the right hand of his own over it. Good showing here in round 10 from Floyd Patterson at the moment. One shot from Norton notwithstanding. Minute 15 left in the bout. Good left hand again from Norton. But not able to follow it. Norton, even after landing that shot, was still backing up. Body shot, that was a borderline low blow there from Floyd Patterson. Nothing from the official. Norton fights on. Missing with the jab. Patterson now seems content to not really do that much, as he's certainly had the better of the 10th round here. But now he gets in close again. I'm not sure I would do that if I was Patterson at the moment. He controlled the first half of this round. Now just don't make any terrible mistakes. Don't let Norton tag you. Final 15 seconds of the bout. Patterson is in close again. Norton swings and misses with the left. Right hand there. Connects, but not with a lot of authority from Norton. Waning moments as we head to the final bell. So we will go to the judges. Floyd Patterson, Ken Norton. Good scrap here, a worthy main event scrap. I would think that Patterson has the victory here, probably by a close decision. And he does get the decision. So Ken Norton certainly had Patterson in more trouble at times in this bout than Patterson ever had Norton. But at the end of the night, Patterson piles up some rounds, particularly late. We'll see the final judging. 97-93 on 2 cards, 98-92 on 1. I can see the 97-93. 98-92 seems a bit wide. We'll see 5, 6, and 7. The judges gave 2. Those are the rounds I said were the toughest to score. Judges, all 3 judges, gave 2 of 3 of those rounds to Floyd Patterson. And Floyd Patterson moves on with the unanimous decision victory over Ken Norton. See there, Patterson swept the final 4 rounds for Judge 3. He won 3 of 4 of the final 4 rounds on the first 2 judges' scorecards. And that's how he got to that point, getting a bit of distance there. Again, Norton, after he rattled one thing, well, look at that 3rd round. I don't know how all 3 judges and Teddy Atlas at ringside gave that 3rd round to Floyd Patterson. Ken Norton won that 3rd round, I believe. And he had Patterson on the way out, I feel like, at the end of that 3rd round. So that's a little bit of a questionable scoring in my mind there. But again, Norton kind of changed his tactic a bit for a few rounds after that. He tried to finish Patterson, was unsuccessful in doing so, and may have kind of wore himself out for the late rounds in doing so. So Patterson advances. He'll face Vladimir Klitschko in the semifinal. A very strong performance from Floyd Patterson. And again, Ken Norton will certainly get himself a title shot somewhere down the line, I would have to think. Quick little punch stat look. Patterson with a 10-point advantage in terms of connect percentage. Again, Norton threw more blows, but Patterson, particularly as the fight went on, just landing at a much higher clip. And that sets you up for a unanimous decision victory. So congratulations to Floyd Patterson, who moves on in the tournament. I thank you, as always, for tuning in here to the Legend Sports Universe Boxing Federation. Our next card here in the LSUBF. Forgive me for doing a terrible job of not preparing this in in advance while I bring this up. Check out the next bouts that I have set. Next card, of course, will occur within Undisputed. The next one's going to be a good one. So we've got Ike Quartet and Carlos Palomino. Azuma Nelson will face Young Corbett. And Evander Holyfield in the main event at Cruiserweight will take on Asi Ocasio. So you got some big names in that bout and that card. That should be a fun one. I'm not sure exactly when I'll get that card done. So stay tuned. As always here, again, follow the Facebook page. Follow here on the YouTube. I've currently been banned from groups on Facebook, not because of anything in those groups. But the political forces at Facebook didn't like a meme that I posted. So I have been banned from groups and phone calls. I don't know who does calls on Facebook. I sure don't. But anyway, so that's why you haven't seen some of my stuff in the groups recently. I'm going to try to get another account set up and kind of share them in the groups until that clears out in mid-April. But anyway, regardless, just follow the main Facebook page for the Legend Sports Universe, and you'll see everything that I'm up to there. Bang that like button if you haven't. Subscribe if you haven't as of yet. And most importantly, everybody, be good to each other. And we'll talk soon.